Shalom, welcome to Kabbalah Academy. Today we're going to do a deep dive on Crown Jewel. We're starting a whole new series, deep diving on what's hidden in this key, this Crown Jewel. As Master Yirah, those who haven't yet, I advise you strongly, if you're truly interested in learning the secrets, in learning about what's reality, objective reality, and how one can see it through this crown jewel, this key that opens the doors to all the Hechalot, the doors of the palace of the king. So to say, metaphorically speaking, Yirah did an amazing live TikTok yesterday, which is still publicly available on a restoration of the breach. I'm not sure for how long, but it will end up on school.com/Yirah, together with a whole series on ascension techniques. How does one enter into the Hechalot, right? He explains it to a T, and there's none else that ever explained it. I'm a witness of it being authentically effective. So let us start and take one of these 4 mother letters. Okay, so today we'll look at Shin. So Shin, fire or light, should one say, right? Light. Now, many words that have to do with fire and light start with an L in all kinds of languages. We have light, we have in French lumière, we have luz in Portuguese and Spanish, we have licht in German and Dutch, and so on and so forth. So already you'll see that, right? And what is staggering is that the lammed itself, that would be an L, it is connected to the mother letter. So we have the 4 mother letters, right? The elements. So fire, like the sun, right? Air, atmosphere. Mem, water, solid. And mem, sofit, water, liquid. And mem, sofit, stone, earth, solids. You get it? So to these 3 mother letters with a permutation for the end of a word, right? Giving us the 4 elements, to which 12 elemental letters, that's why they're named elemental letters, as they're connected to the elements, right? But the elements themselves are Shin, Aleph, Mem, and Mem Sofit. So we'll immediately see that all these words in these many languages start with a lammed, and the lammed is connected. It's the elemental letter of Shin, and that's precise because Shin is fire, is light. So light, the source, right? The source of life, because without heat there is no life. So the L is connected to, it's a lammed, is connected to Shin, fire, light. And what's staggering, we'll get there in a little bit. So this light source requires nothing to be seen except for, for our retina, our eyes. Its path does, however, because you cannot see, if you have that centralized star, you cannot see the rays of light except when some clouds or misty or water or whatever comes in front of it. That's what makes it visible. Yet the source itself is visible. And some other thing we know about light is, of course, the fact that all the objects, water, mem or mem sofit, doesn't matter, liquids and solids, can only be perceived by our retina when light bounces off of the object and enters into our retina and then gives the image to, right, to our physical perception, right? Physical perception, that is. So, so to see it. And that brings me to another word, because see would be Shin, ayin, ayin. And that's also precise, because we need that light to see. And ayin means external sight. So, and it has a value of 70 or 7 in Katan, right? 70 or 7 in Katan, the 7 eyes of Hashem. It also refers to the 7th day, right? We can also say it's a 7, so it tells us something about the 7th day. I'll make here Zerampin and the Nukva, but we'll get there in a little bit. We'll guard this for later. So these are the eyes. That's precise. The ayin means sight, right? And the spelling out, the mentioning ayin already tells us eye. The word, the naming of the letter in Hebrew already signifies eye. So there's 2 of them, and we have 2 eyes. And with these 2 eyes, we physically see because of the light. So that's as clear as can be, right? But here it becomes interesting, because this lammed, right, it has on top a yud. So that yud comes from on high, right? And you can see that yud as the primordial point. All these letters are built up of yuds also, right? And as, of course, light, it has a wavelength. It oscillates and it vibrates, and therefore the lammed signifies also the bringing down of that light, or life, if you will, through oscillation, vibration, wavelength, right? Wavelength is a form of oscillation, vibration. So that's how light travels. So now comes the traveling speed of light is 299, and now I have to peak 0.792 in a vacuum, and 299.70 in air. So air and vacuum. So that's roughly 300, which is exactly the value of Shin. Okay? There's no mistakes, people. Hashem is very precise, okay? To a T, so precise, it creeps you out, but in a beautiful way, and that's all, okay? And that's all, called Yirah. Okay, let us proceed. So this traveling speed is enormous, right? Let us look at the word light. So we had the 7, right? The 2 eyes, these are called the 7 eyes of Hashem, each having 2 sides also. So this is the Zerampin, and this is the Nukva. Sorry for my writing. So, and this is the Nukva, but usually we say the 7-headed serpent, physical side, because a wise man has eyes within his head. So this is a lower case representation when we take it to the physical, right? But what can we say about the physical? Because it's just as much true in the upper worlds and in the panemius, the internalities. We say up metaphorically for convenience of speech, right? But it's actually really inward. The eyes are inside a man's head. The eyes of a wise man are inside his head. But okay, you can see it both ways. Traveling speed of light was 300. So the eye, light, we'll do it like this. Light, and then here it's lammed, right? And that was the transmitting that primordial light or life, if you will, which requires heat downwards. The eye would be a yud, which is immediately also, as we see, connected to the mother letter Shin, light. Goes very well there. It's not in every language in this word, but you'll find other values definitely in the gematria, in the atbash, in the kusu. It's always there. You not finding it just means you haven't searched enough, or you don't have the prerequisites yet to find the information, which, and this is even still very superficial. It goes way deeper. Just follow Yirah. Mark my words, follow Yirah. He is expounding and he will come with great insights, and he's already doing that. And that's why I'm dedicating now a special series of videos. Also will land upon school.com/Yirah, okay, in the Kabbalah Academy classroom. But follow Yirah is my advice. So light, lammed, yud, gimel. And now gimel is progress, right? It's progress. And what does it progress? It progresses light, of course. Life. Progressing as the sun gives heat, right? It reveals things, so it progresses. And it progresses within, because the hay, H is a hay, and it means, behold, within. That's a value of 5, but we also have Yud, Hey, Vav, and Hey, which are also the worlds and the whole tree, because tip of the Yud, Keter, base of the Yud, Chochma, upper Hey, Bina, Vav, Zerampin, and the lower Hey being that seventh again, the Nukva, or the reality, the world of Asiya, the world of action. So the progress where life is possible here, the physical life, we're now taking it to a lower plane, right? Is possible there because of that light, so it progresses. Yud, primordial point, here it's already represented, coming downwards, oscillating, vibrating, staff, vibration, light, means spirit, Yud also, and Gimel, progressing within awareness, because this is serpent or awareness. Serpent awareness, in this case I would say awareness, because like I said, without light, Shin, bouncing off on Mem and Mem Safit, and then into the retina of the eye, that's the way how we become aware of physicality, right? Awareness. But like I said, there's many things here that definitely go for this, for the Penimios as well. It's all connected. Requires somewhat of a different explanation, but I think it's very important to see this now in the physical plane, because that's where our trap is, right? Physicality. So that's also where we have to start and seeing the divine within, right? Hey, within the lower hay, that is. So within the lower hay, and then Taf was awareness. So what else can we do here? The word life. Let us take a look at the word life. We'll keep them short, and each series, each video of this series will be about a certain word or topic that truly shows us the system here, how you can apply it, and how we can twist the keys and start seeing how everything is divine and connected. Okay, so life, we can do the same with life now, right? So this was clear. Awareness comes through light, bouncing off within the Malchut. So let us do it here. Life. So again, we have that lammed, right? Again, that light, that heat that's required. It's also the supernal point, which is equal to the semen, right? The semen, the whiteness of Abba, and that was why the Tet also has a value of 9, which we found in the end of light, because Chochmah is the first revealed, right? This is concealed. But, okay? Kometz Patach. So from here on is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9th day. Okay, so its source of light is Chochmah, the 9th day. So that's also precise. I needed to add that. Again, we have this Yud. So this is not different from light, right? Both, like we said, just it's all about repetition, connected to the Shin of fire, light, for that matter. Then this would be Fei, the Fei, and why? Because Yisod is the bridge to Ayin, which is 7 in the lower, to the Malchut, okay? So that's really what's happening. These are also connected to colors, right? And Yisod is the mental form, and this is physicality. So it already tells us a part of the process how life comes about. So the Ayin 7 as supernal seed comes down through the Yisod, Fei, values 80. Fei means mouth, but 80, the mouth is Yisod of the face, and Yisod of the Gufa, the body, is the reproductive organ. So that supernal light, right, life, semen, Yud, spirit, comes through, right, goes down, travels through the Yisod into the 7th, right, manifesting in the 7th. Okay, so that was the first of this series. I hope that was helpful. Follow Yirah, go to school.com/Yirah. One more thing to say, Likutei Yirah 9, this is the only sefer, as Yirah is the only one that teaches this, that knows this. There's none else. And you can find there in great length the crown jewel with many examples, how it operates, what are the values of these letters, 3 mother letters, like I said, Shin, Aleph, Mem, Mem Sofit, where you always see that light is separated from liquids and solids by the nose that breathes the air. Light is separated from liquids and solids by the lungs that breathe the air. See it in your environment. Light, the sun, is separated from planets, liquids and solids by the atmosphere, Aleph, right? Just as the face, the Gufa, animals, atoms, plants, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long ago, it doesn't matter how far beyond. This is undeniable, objective reality, objective truth, and by teaching this and by seeing this, this is the way how we come to world peace. Let us end hatred, let us end division. Let us enter into world peace. Okay, Shalom.